Yes, yes. All right, we are live. Welcome to another amazing discussion, live discussion about how to use video to explode your relationships and from that revenue without algorithm zombies being involved. Right? Are you ready to do this?
I am ready. Let's go.
I am ready. Let's go. All right, I'm going to share my screen. And we'll get this show on the road. Yes, there we go. All right. We see my screen. Fantastic. Okay. How to use video to scale relationships and revenue. Again, no algorithm zombies. We're cracking this code to be relatable. Let's get this show on the road. All right. Join the video 2.0 revolution that is hotter than a jalapeno in a sauna.
Yeah.
You know that.
We have our little jalapeno character you guys will all see in the future.
I know. It's going to be so fun. All right. Here's the steps we're going to share. Here is what we're going to talk about. We are just rocking and rolling. So 7 undeniable truths, basically as true as breathing. The clash of the natives, and we'll talk about what that means. Chasing the teenager driving the social media Ferrari. We don't want to do that. I don't think we're going to catch it. The scale that is tipped like an adult on a child seesaw. It's already tipped. I hope you can be on the adult side. And let's compose your relatable symphony.
Yeah.
So
and your kid's going to go flying if your adult's on the other end of that seesaw. I did that with my son once, and that was not good.
So let's not go there. Let's just have it already tipped and we'll participate. All right. This is not a webinar. I'm just telling you right now, we are not in a webinar. There's no perfect webinar formula. There's no price comparison slides. It's just a discussion. And we hope those of you who are here will participate. So anything more you want to say about that, Peter?
Yeah, I mean, the other thing too is yes, it's a discussion. And we have, from that discussion, we have a framework and a tool that we believe will help you rapidly build your relationships and revenue at scale. So we'll present that later on in our discussion here.
Absolutely. All right. Okay. I love this statement. Once you see this, you will see it everywhere. Or, as we like to say, you can't unsee it. What are we talking about, Peter?
Well, that actually, my kind of slang version of it is once you see it, you can't unsee it. It's the same thing, right? But it's one of these things where as you go through life, I always go back because I have a neuroscience background. The fancy word for it is reticular activator in your brain. The simple explanation for it is if you ever bought a car, say like a red Dodge Charger, you're going to start seeing that car all over the road because it is now part of your reticular activation system. It's an awareness. So as it relates to this discussion, the things we're going to present to you are things that are going on, whether it's, the algorithm zombies or it's social media, hamster wheel, or it's the ads costs that are rising. Once you start realizing what's really going on here, guys, and how it's affecting your business, you're going to see this everywhere. You're not going to be able to unsee it.
Absolutely. And we all know that. We all have experienced when we see something that we've either just purchased, we just see it everywhere. So, all right, who is this not for? If you need a recipe so precise, you can get a perfect Instagram ready result every time. This is not for you. If you want quick, viral, algorithm cloned content like a Star Wars meme, this is not for you. If you want to squeeze more conversations out of your funnel as if you're wringing a damp dish rag, this is not for you. And if you want a money printing machine like the gurus claim is possible while you sit behind the scenes and count all the claimed wallets, this is not for you. In other words, if you're just looking for a way to make more money, we give you permission to go somewhere else. Anything else you want to add to that, Peter?
Well, yeah, just as far as like a get rich quick, this will make you more money, but it's more building relationships in the longer term, and it's lasting revenue. It's not these short hits where you're on this hamster wheel of constantly having to launch and launch and launch, which a lot of people are doing, and it just leads to burnout, Mary. So I say, hey, let's try a little different approach here.
let's just wait and see what happens. There's a certain thing called Black Friday coming up here pretty soon, and we'll all see what that looks like. So, yeah. All right. Whoops. Who is this for? All right. If you embrace the future like a roller coaster to the moon, because that's kind of what it feels like sometimes, we love to have you here. If you're tired of squeezing that damp rag funnel and want to do business with humans, we invite you to do so. And if you're ready to fight the algorithm zombies with your own jalapeno hot sauce, that's secret hot sauce, then please stick around. If you're an entrepreneur growing a movement to hopefully move mountains, we really want to see how we can help you do that. And if you're a human thinking differently, like a true heretic, then please stick around. What else?
The only big thing that stands out to me, Mary, is, the one, if you're an entrepreneur growing a movement to hopefully move mountains. I always say, and you'll hear a lot of thought leaders now, not that I'm a big thought leader or anything, but you'll hear a lot of people talking now in terms of interaction and community. And when you create that movement, it's easier to create a movement than it is to build a business. And the other thing is, if you create the movement, you don't have to go to market anymore. And so that's what we're about here. And again, we're going to talk about this, guys. This shift is not happening. It's happened. And Mary will show you in the slides. We're going to give you a good case for why you need to get on this now, because this has already happened. So if you wait too much longer, now you're going to be in catch-up mode, which is not a good place to be as a business entrepreneur.
Absolutely not. All right. Who are we? Peter, take it away.
Just a little bit about me. I've, been in product development for over 30 years. Done a lot of stuff. I worked at as a division manager for little companies like Nike, Hewlett Packard, Verifone. Done a lot of innovative work. I own a software company now called iProlio, which Relatable is the product that we're talking about in the framework here. My company really is about how do we create human connected technologies. And if you guys ever want to find out like what the opposite of what that means, watch The Social Dilemma. I'm not totally against social media, but there's a lot of things about social media that has produced a lot of unfavorable results. So we looked at this and said, hey, in our origin story, what can we do to create something that is more relationship based, but it's scalable? Because, Mary, I would love for everybody that's out here watching this live streaming and everywhere else, I'd love to meet with each of you and have a cup of coffee with you at Starbucks, but you can't really scale that, right? So that was our big thing, is like, well, how do we create these relationships that are interactive, but do it at scale? And so you could meet, whether you're reaching 10,000 people or 10 million people, you can do that with the Relatable framework and the product.
Yes. And Peter and I met, I think, in 2017. And that's when I was building chatbots and all hot on the chatbot scene and Facebook and just totally committed. And he said something that really pissed me off, and we still stayed friends. He said that if you're putting all your eggs in Facebook's basket, you're going to have some problems. And, of course, I just was so excited about this new thing. I didn't want to hear anything like that. But before that, I started my first online business, my first business ever, online in 2003. And I've pretty much grown up and learned everything I know, bootstrapping, figuring things out, no code. I used to be a technical recruiter, so I have all kinds of techies in my back pocket, so to speak, that I've helped get pretty good paying jobs. So they've helped me along the way. And in the meantime, I am loving every minute of everything that I get to learn and explore and take an adventure with in this online world. So marketing is really from chatbots to marketing. That's pretty much where I am. So Peter and I have been connected through his previous product with iProlio called OpenList App, and now with this next product and framework that I'm very excited about called Relatable. So I'm just happy to be here, happy to be along for the ride. All right. Our movement. This is very important. And Peter, you created this stack of words that actually means a lot. So I'll let you take that away.
Yeah. So, when we thought about this, going back to, in fact, guys, you'll start seeing again, we're starting this up. So if you can fast forward 2 to 3 years from now, you're going to see us everywhere. You're going to see all kinds of content. We're at the very beginnings of this. And so this is actually a good time for you to get involved with this movement, involved with this framework, and involved with this product. But when I look at things, I wanted to, again, with human connected technology, before we talk about movement, we had to look at something and say, okay, what is out there in the marketplace, right? So this is part of our origin story. And we went, well, okay, people are, and you're going to see this with what Mary's going to talk about with these natives. Everybody is on their phone. Everybody's watching videos. And, but the thing about it is the problem is they're passive, right? So like if you look at YouTube or TikTok or Instagram, you're just scrolling and if you're a business owner, you don't know who these people are, right? So he said, we got to do something different. Now there is a kind of an up and coming crop of these interactives, Mary, but they're like a one-way adventure. And at the end they go, hey, let's have you purchase something. So I look at that. I mean, when I go back to real human relationships, it's like, that's like taking somebody that you really like on the first date, and at the end of the day going, hey, you want to get married? I mean, we don't operate like that as human beings.
Nope.
So
Nope.
the category is really about being different. How do we create something that is not just, hey, we have these features, they have this feature, and you guys are all going, well, okay, I don't even know how to use these features. So we're going to talk about use cases and all that stuff too. But our category is about developing interactive video relationships. Okay. So it's not just interactive video. It's about how do you develop relationships to turn your audience to the customer and your customer into a raving fan. I wrote a book back in, I know it's going to age me, back in 1994, which was called Customers for Keeps. It was a forefather of CRM. This is back in the Apple user group days for you guys that are old enough to remember that. And I had the largest user group in the country. And so we wanted to do something like that. This framework then is about, okay, now it's like, well, okay, if we're creating interactive video relationships, how do we help everyone think about this to be able to develop relationships with video, right? So we thought, and Mary was involved in all this. We talked and, talked to a whole bunch of different people. We thought about it internally. And our framework we came up with is relatable. It's like, at the end of the day, guys, I've traveled to almost every country in the world. And what I found out is I don't care if you're in Abu Dhabi or in Taiwan or China or in the United States of America or in South America, if you start looking at the common principles, there's things that are very common as far as fairness, love, kindness, generosity. So this framework is called relatable. It's like, how do you express these common things being your authentic, genuine self? Okay. That's the relatable framework. So you guys, this is not anything you have to go, oh, I have to learn this new. Mary mentioned, use your secret sauce. That's part of our tagline. If you, with Jalapeno Joe, you use your secret sauce, that is what makes you uniquely you. And that's part of the framework. And then you just translate that into relatable. I did write a book, and it's available for people to read, to really understand how to do this in a process-oriented fashion. The tool is relatable. We have a really cool tool. We're the first in the world where you can build on your phone and people can view on their phone. So you can do this while you're going to Starbucks, in a cab, going to the airport, anywhere you want. You can create a relatable interactive and get it out to the world and publish it in a matter of seconds. And then the content, this is part of what we're doing here with content. And Mary and I are here, and we have other people that are doing this too, but it's talking about how do we create content that is thought-provoking, things that relate to our interaction, our movement, right? I've even talked to Mary about, because I'm an engineer, so I deal with equations, right? But if you look at what's going on out there, and Mary will talk about this maybe, and if not, we can certainly talk to you if you decide to jump on and want to do a hot seat with us. There's what we call empty calorie content. This is like, hey, man, it's the Gary Vaynerchuk's of the world. I love you all. This is your tip for the day. Let's be peaceful. Well, that's nice, but how does that really help you grow your business, right? Then you have the next kind, which is the big one. You guys, this is what you see. You can't see it. There's what we call status quo content. This is like, hey, in a carousel on LinkedIn, do these 5 things and your business is going to explode to $100,000 a month. And here's my newsletter and get the email. And the problem with that is you get on their email list and now they're doing stranger marketing because they really don't know you and you don't know them. So again, how is that helping building relationships? So we have what we call breakthrough content. We want to produce pieces that really help you think, but we put ourselves in your shoes and give you solution tips with this breakthrough content of here's exactly how you can be relatable. This is the use cases. We have many use cases for coaches, course creators, book authors, product creators, and we're producing all this content. So you don't just look at the software and go, well, this is really cool. It has all these features, but how the hell do I use this thing? So we're showing you exactly how to do that. And then that brings us into community and movement. Mary mentioned Heretics 2.0, which is, if you look at the definition of a heretic, and I think we're going to talk about that a little later, but it's doing something different, right? And being part of a different group that is kind of against the status quo. So in Heretics 2.0, our framework is no to the quo, right? And the reason why we're doing it is not just to be a heretic and be different. We're doing it because Mary and I are going to point out some reasons in this slide deck that's going to really get you to see like, yeah, that really is going on. And that's a problem. And that really hurts my business. And we need to do something about this.
Absolutely. I can't add.
I know it was a little long-winded, Mary, but it's important to go through.
No, and we're setting the stage. So
Yeah.
That's exactly what it's for. And so let's dive in. I talked about these undeniable truths that are as true as breathing. And you'll see why I said that, because exactly what this is. We have a fundamental right to connectivity now. This is just a fact of life since the world, and Peter will give you some statistics, because again, that's his engineer brain. And it's true. Everyone is on their phone. Information is at our fingertips. Everyone is watching or listening instead of reading. And because of that, short form video is really the future of content consumption and production.
Yeah.
The rise of podcasts and audiobooks really means we are all on the go doing what we want to do, and we need to meet people where they are, not just where we want them to be. And that really culminates in, if you're going to meet people where they are, you got to know who they are. And you have to be personal and niche specific yourself. You can't meet everyone everywhere. You can be everywhere, but you need to be speaking specifically to the people who need what you have. So, Peter, tell me more about those, because these are in your book and you specifically outline these as the almost jumping off point to being relatable.
Yeah. And by the way, too, not only in the book, guys, but if you want to go over to, if you know what Substack is, a lot of you guys do, just go over Substack and look up Be Relatable, because Mary and I are writing articles up there. One of them is this undeniable truth. So talk about these. These are things that no matter where you go in the world, like, for example, number 2, everyone's on their phone. I don't know if you guys realize, there's about 8.2 billion people in this world. Over 96% of them have a cell phone. And that is their only computing device. They don't sit on desktops like we do in the United States. That's their only form of communication, computing, and everything. So this is why we did Relatable on the phone. Build on the phone, be on the phone, because if you go globally, that's what people have. The rest of them, I think, are pretty self-explanatory. The only one that, with personalized and niche content, is I cannot tell you how, I'll give you one statistics. Okay. And we use this in some of our content, but Brightcove did a study. So Brightcove is a big research. You guys probably know who they are. They analyzed over 1 billion, not million, billion video views, and found that interactive video increases engagement and conversion by up to 200%. Now imagine if you're getting 10, 20, 30, 50% and engagement conversion versus passive video, what that would do for you. But that comes because you're doing interactive video that is personalized. It allows them, video, Mary talks about, hey, you get to choose your own video adventure. And you'll hear that in some of our interactive relatables that you'll interact with too. But it's so important that the person gets to choose their own adventure and they get to go down a path that is personalized and relevant to them. Not what we want to shove down their throats or what other businesses have done in the past with marketing. That number 7 is really with interaction and community. That's the tipping point. That's where things are now. They're going that way more and more, but they already have happened. It's already happened in that direction.
Absolutely. All right. The clash of the natives. It really feels that way because there is a clash, and it also has happened. And we want to follow the natives who are now more than 50% of the population on the planet. So we're talking about the difference between native analogs and native digitals. And there is a revolution that has happened online between these two groups of people. Native analogs are people who were born and lived their formative years without the internet. And of course, native digitals are the opposite, those who were born and lived their formative years with the internet. And it's not just an age thing, as Peter will mention here in a minute. But so what is this clash, Peter? And how can we benefit, but where should we be as we're building a business?
Yeah, like Mary said, it's not so much an ageism thing. It's more of a how you experience the digital world, right? So native analogs, the big clash here is this. Native analogs created the internet. Okay, good for them. Yay, that's good. But they also brought the rules to the internet that were part of the physical world. These are things you guys know, like TV ads, radio ads, email, and email marketing, analog algorithms. All this stuff was created by the native analogs. Okay. Well, now this group called the native digitals, by the way, which is now over 50% of the world population. If you look that up, the median age now is about 30.7, 31 years. And the native digitals are really considered 35 and younger. So we've already hit the tipping point. Over half the world is these native digitals. They look at their primary reality is the digital world. They're a tourist in the native analog world. So guys, if a native digital, you will see there's certain traits that they do. And if you have kids, you know what I'm talking about. Native digitals, they won't come to your door and knock on it and go, hey, I'm here. They'll text from their car. If you're laughing, you'll know that that's so true. Native digitals, they live on Twitter, Discord. They have friends on video games that they've never met, but they're the best friends in the world. Okay. They deal with NFTs and Bitcoin and all that stuff. It's not that you can't as a native analog, but the reason why there's this clash is the native digitals are rejecting the native analogs, business models, algorithms, email marketing. And guys, you'll know it. I mean, let's just look at email marketing. When email marketing first came out, man, you could make a killing. When ads first came out, Google ads and Facebook ads, they were cheap. Look at where they are now. In fact, Google ads have gone up over 40% a year for the last 5 years. That's 200%. I had a wellness center, which we sold. I had to stop using Google ads because I couldn't afford it as a small business person. Email marketing, look at the statistics now. Now, what are we down below 1 to 2% click-through rate? That wasn't that way before. It's because of this slow rejection of these models that the native analogs created. So you have to look at this and go, okay, well, I feel like if you guys feel like you're beating your head against the wall with social posting and all the stuff that Mary's going to talk about, you have to sit back and go, okay, what else is possible here? What can I do to change this? And really, guys, part of it is it's not necessarily doing some new AI tech thing. I'm not against AI. We have AI in our Relatable software product. But the thing is, it's about if you want to have a lasting business with, lasting, consistent cash flow, it's about relationships. Guys, business has always been about relationships. All we're doing is saying with the Relatable framework and the Relatable product, we are taking what you can do now in the digital world and applying it to relationships so that you can build relationships at scale. And like Mary said, build your revenue along with it. But that's really the big clash. You got the analogs and the digitals, and there's a rejection going on out there, and you're seeing it in the numbers. You guys see it just as well as we do, and that's why.
Absolutely. The natives using the internet like they're using rotary phones. Those are the native analogs. All right. I got to say something about this. I'm not here because I want to help people get as many people down to the bottom of their funnels and bug the hell out of them and do all these FOMO and OTOs and downsells and upsells and all those addictive techniques that we all are kind of burnt out on. I mean, we see them immediately. And the native digitals, they can see them a mile away. So those are the native analogs that created that. And I have to share something. The reason I'm here is because of experiences I've had in my agency building chatbots and helping clients grow their business and hopefully build movements by automated systems like chatbots. One particular client kind of pushed me over the edge. And this client was using that old model, great process of funnels and webinar and challenge, going to a course and all these wonderful things. But she was beholden to ads because she was addicted to that high number of people coming into the top of her funnel so that she could get, tenths of a percent at the bottom to buy. So in order to get those percentages at the bottom, she had to have huge numbers at the top. And the only way that she could do that was with ads. So she was spending more and more money in ads, and every 2 weeks would maybe get a 3% conversion at the bottom of that funnel. And the thing that, again, pushed me over the edge, even though she was making 70,000, 100,000 every 2 weeks when she would launch, she would have a 20% refund rate. And I asked her, aren't you worried about that 20% refund rate? And she said, well, no, I'm just, as long as I keep this going, the numbers work. Well, these aren't numbers. These are people. They're human beings. And when you get that refund, that's pretty much to me, a hit over the head to say, to me, you're doing something wrong. Not that you're doing something right and making a lot of money, but you're doing something wrong in the relationship game, which is going to help you in the long run. Because all that does is set her up for more ads and more tools and techniques that she can use to get as many people in the top of that funnel. So that's what we're talking about when we say like a rotary phone. It's old school. It's something that we've had forever. And the native digitals are done with it. What do you think, Peter?
Well, I can't agree with you more. The thing about it is, and I will tell you guys, look, we talk about relationships. Relationships do take a little bit of time, but you can convert fairly quickly with Relatable. You can build these things in less than 30 minutes. What we're talking about is, this is not about the quick hit cash thing. Mary, I can't agree with you more. And this is, once you see it, you can't unsee it. I see guys up on LinkedIn and they're bragging. There's a young kid up there. He's got a successful agency and he friended me and we connected and things like that. And the thing is, he just had a carousel post about bragging about how he's making 6 figures, but he has a 0.3% conversion. Guys, that's 3 out of 1,000 that he converted. So then he's pounding on the other 997. And that's what's called a status quo post. This is the thing. It's like people are bragging about having a 0.3% conversion when they would sit back, if they'd sit back and look at that going, that kind of sucks.
Yeah,
I'm getting a really low conversion. Something is not right here. What can I do about it? Right. Yeah. But we're so brainwashed into thinking that, okay, well, we have to fight these algorithms. We got to do this social media stuff. We got to pound these people with email marketing, like Mary was saying, to get some that pop out the bottom in some one-way funnel. And then you got people that are espousing, well, to cover your ad costs, because those went up, you got to do one-time offers and upsells and downsells, and totally piss people off. So, you guys got to kind of see this for what it really is. It's like, I'm not saying everybody's going to be your cup of tea. We're not going to be everybody's cup of tea, but you're going to build your tribe. You're going to have your customers. You're going to have your movement. And those are the people that you want to hang out with, because they want to hang out with you. And you can build a whole nice business with them that's long-term and sustainable through being relatable and building relationships.
Absolutely. And when you said brainwashed, that's really what we're talking about here. It really is the old way of doing things. And instead of asking this phrase that I love, Peter says, what else is possible? Instead of just asking that, we have to double down on the same old thing and try and make it more and more and bigger and just more and more people. So that's what we mean by Stockholm Syndrome. Now, that is a syndrome that is very different. And, in light of recent events, I think we can probably take that out of here now because it is a very sad situation where we become understanding of and compassionate toward those who like algorithms that keep us hostage online. And we become a willing zombie to those algorithms. We become users of the platform rather than viewers of video or relationships. We become servants to the SEO. We produce that empty calorie content that Peter mentioned. We use this stranger marketing, keeping people at arm's length and not really getting to know them at all or having them get to know us. And really marketing pusher. There's really this whole funnel situation is you build a product, you push it out to people and you try and get people to buy it. There's also a pull marketing where you start with the customer and you ask them questions, then you build the product, then you push them to it, but you're pulling people based on what you think they need to that purchase. Yeah. Well, we're here to say, let's put the customer front and center. Let's actually be honest with them and open and authentic with who we are and allow the customer to be the one that we are trying to help. That's not push marketing. That's not pull marketing. That's authentic marketing. That's being relatable.
You know, Mary, just to add to that, I mean, there's a couple prominent people. This always sticks in my head, right? Because you talk about all this stuff relates to innovation, right? And how do you, in my 30 plus years, it's a fine line. It's a dance between, creating that pull versus the push, right? But I always go back to Henry Ford and Steve Jobs. Henry Ford said, look, if I asked my customers what they wanted, they'd say, I want a faster horse. So he didn't listen to him. He created a Model T. And, one of the stories I was telling you the other day is, back in the 1800s, back in late 1800s, it wasn't 1800s, early 20s and 1900s, when the Model T first came out, in 18 months, when San Francisco was a booming town and, early town city, within 18 months from the first time the Model T came out, you'd see one or two and all the rest would be horses. Within 18 months, you saw all Model Ts and one or two horses. That's how fast that thing was adopted, the Model T, for transportation to get from point A to point B. The other one that you guys know is Steve Jobs. And Steve Jobs was, he was a forefather of category design, in my opinion, and things. There's, Christopher Lockett is a friend of ours, and he's done a great job at putting the methodology to category design. But, he always would say, hey, customers sure can't tell you what they want, but they can sure tell you what they don't want, right? So we're always looking at, that's the don't want, right? And you're seeing it. It's not just, look, we could talk to 1,000 people, but you could just go and look at the evidence like I was talking about with the statistics of things, guys. It is telling you there is something they don't want. And it's right there in front of your face. It's kind of like the emperor that has no clothes. And we have to finally start accepting this and going, okay, well, hell, this is not working. So like Mary said, what else is possible? What can we do here?
Absolutely. This is one of the most amazing quotes, and it's from that movie, Social Dilemma. Please, I encourage you to watch it on Netflix. There are only two industries that call their customers users: illegal drugs and software. Yeah. And we are not one of them.
And we, that's one thing. When Mary first joined us, I said, look, there's something you have to know. We don't call our people as software users. We call them builders. People on the other end are viewers or people. We will not use the term users because users is not a good thing to call people. I don't think so.
Absolutely not. So we talk about social chasing. That was that whole idea. Are you chasing chasing social media posts like a teenager in a Ferrari? You're chasing that teenager in the Ferrari, in the social Ferrari. Here are the ways that we look at social chasing. And it's not building relationships. It's just feeding the algorithm. You're an SEO servant. We'll go into that in detail. You're a user. You feel like a user, or you treat your people like a user. You create empty calorie content. You are detached from your viewers and the people who consume your content with stranger marketing, and you're pushing marketing. So let's go into those in detail. The first one, SEO servant. Take this away, Peter, because I love the way you say it in relation to specifically trying to get on page 1 of Google.
Well, yeah, I mean, you guys, you can read these bullet points, but I'll tell you a story. The story is this. When I owned the wellness, we had a large wellness center. We had like 40 some employees, and we had lots and lots of customers. And I was, because everybody in the small business, what do you want to do? You want to get on page 1 of Google. So I hired this company to do that, and we paid good money. And yes, we got on page one of good Google for our keywords and, mobile, desktop, all that kind of stuff. We tracked all the analytics, because gosh, you have to know your numbers. But Barry, I was sitting there in our wellness center, and I was looking at, I was going through okay, for all the keywords, where are we on page one of Google? And you know what dawned on me? It dawned on me that, you know what? I am paying somebody for the privilege of being up on page one of Google and competing with 9 other companies who are there, plus the ones that pay for ads. And if you think about it, I'm going, okay, so for example, in Wellness Center, we did massage. You guys, I'm sure all had a massage. So then I'm thinking, okay, well, if I put myself in the customer's shoes and they really don't have a full understanding of what we do at the Wellness Center, and they're looking for a massage, they've got 10 companies to choose from. Everything being equal, what do you think they're going to do? Choose the lowest price. And this is the thing, guys. This is one of these, when you see it, you can't unsee it. It's like, you get to enjoy the luxury of paying somebody to keep you on page one of Google, so you get to compete with 9 other companies. I mean, it's like, that one blew my mind. I was like, wow, that's a really good scam.
Yeah, that's right. And we all buy into it.
We all buy into it, yeah.
That's it. And the same thing with empty calorie content. It's designed for all those emojis that we all look for on social media. That's what it's designed for, is to just get you that. That doesn't get you money. That just gets you an emoji. No substance or audience that your audience can chew on. It's kind of like mush. It's not giving you anything that's meaty. As vanilla as watching paint dry. I'm sorry, I'm just going to be honest. And it doesn't stop the scroll. It really is just content to get eyeballs. Yeah. Stranger marketing. I use this term slick aware. We are all slick aware. We are aware of the slick marketing tools and techniques. And this is what stranger marketing identifies for me. It's brand focused, as if your brand is the only thing under the microscope. Marketing at the end of a 10-foot pole. You keep people out there. Chasing numbers like you're playing craps. It's all about the numbers, and that's it. And again, push through funnels. Now, in a little more detail of that marketing pusher that it feels like, I'm telling you, it feels like a pusher of the users. Funnels, swirling consumers through their funnels like a tornado. One-way conversations like a bullhorn. That's all we're doing, is yelling people through our bullhorn. Requires the OTOs, the upsells, the downsells, the discounts, like you're around a flock of mosquitoes, pestered by mosquitoes, and really hooking wallets to make money. And that's it. We're fishing for wallets. We're not actually providing what the customer needs. This shift has already happened, like the San Andreas fault has already hit. So
can I add one?
Yeah, please.
On all these slides, guys, here's the thing, because I went through all this stuff. I tried to think through it pretty well. And you may be thinking, okay, well, you're telling me all this stuff doesn't work. Now what the hell do I do? Yes. So what we're saying here is this, and even in my book, I write about this. If you go up to, I call them fishing holes, because I love to fish. I grew up fishing in the Puget Sound up in Washington State. But you go to the fishing holes. You're gonna see us up on TikTok. You're gonna see us on Facebook, on Instagram, on LinkedIn. You got to go to the fishing holes. You still got to have a little bit of a good hook. But if you follow our breakthrough equation, you will have a good hook, and you'll have something that will stop people in their tracks. The same thing with email, with any place you go. But here's where it gets different. What we're saying is go to the fishing holes, because that's where the traffic is. That's where the eyeballs are. But you want to get them into your relatable environment, not run them through a stranger marketing email campaign where you're annoying the hell out of most people, or run them through a one-way funnel where they're going down through and then spitting out at the bottom. Because, that's another thing, guys. I don't know if you realize this, but there's been a lot of studies on that. Even good funnels produce 1 to 4%. So we'll give them the benefit of the doubt. They got 4% conversion. So now they have to annoy the 96% with, and you guys know it. I see these in my email all the time. Email after email after email. It's like, what the hell's going on here? So what we're just saying is, You got to go where the audience is, but to bring them into the relatable environment and invite them into interactivity and engagement and their own adventure in relatable. That's where you're going to build the relationships. You're not going to build relationships with email marketing, and you're not going to build relationships on social media, and you're not going to build relationships in one-way funnels. It's just not going to happen.
Absolutely. So we are the heretics, but we're heretics 2.0. Thank you very much. Not 1.0. Really, this is contrarian thinking. I think if you've listened for the last, say, 40 minutes, you will see that this is not the norm. We are not talking about standard, marketing techniques or money-making tools. We are heretics 2.0. What does that mean, Peter?
Well, it's like I was talking about, that's really our movement. It's, the thing, if I could boil this down to the simplest thing, and Heretics 2.0 is, I'll be honest with you guys, we don't have all the answers, and no one does. If you've been in business for a long time, a lot of it is, how do you connect and experiment and develop relationships with people? That's what we want to do in Heretics 2.0. But I will tell you this. Within our movement, you're going to be able to experience the relatable framework. The key thing is, I have my secret sauce. Mary has her secret sauce. You all have your secret sauce. So what we say with Jalapeno Joe, who's our little mascot, is find your secret sauce and then use that within the relatable framework to be relatable. And then you develop these relatable interactive engagement adventures using our tool to really create your own movement in your business. And that's what Heretics 2.0 is. And we will be here all together. We have a ton of, in fact, guys, like if you're a realtor, listen to this. I just developed a use case for off-market properties using Relatable. If it doesn't make you an extra $150,000 a year, you're doing something wrong. I was just running the numbers. I'm going, oh my God. So these are the kinds of things. It doesn't matter what type of business you are. You can come into Heretics 2.0 and you can learn, because one of the big, and Mary knows this, one of the big pet peeves I have with software companies is they come out with this great whiz-bang tool that can automate the hell out of stuff. And they talk about all their features, and then you're going, okay, well, great, but like, how do I use that in my business, right? So we're going to be the best at showing you how do you use Relatable in your business to build relationships and revenue at scale by finding your secret sauce.
I got to tell you, we're all heretics. My cat is also a heretic because she just figured out how to open the door. She was meowing at the door, and all of a sudden she's scratching. I can hear her scratching, and boom, the door opens. I'm like, all right, I got a heretic for a cat.
You do. Hard too.
Yeah. So the natives who are becoming irrelevant. All right. So we don't want to beat this over the head. All we're talking about is the native digitals remove those social chasing filters. They remove the marketing tactics. They remove all those things. They are different. They remove those analog filters and create new solutions for a digital age. And those solutions, those native digitals, crave community and movements. So let's give them to them. Let's stop chasing that social Ferrari and be relatable. All right. Specifics about relatable. Here we go. We get to actually talk about what does it mean to be relatable. Peter.
It's, to me, it's really simple. It's being authentic, being genuine, and then finding your secret sauce. And then you can use our relatable framework that really helps you express yourself. Like within the relatable tool, Mary, in fact, you're going to see it on we have landing pages for every type of business, and we're building those out right now. And Mary's building the interactives for these, right? And you'll see me on there talking. I'm just the headpiece on the thing. But, the thing about it is we have what's called, they're evergreen relatables. These are ones where you can bring, it's not a funnel, because what Relatable does that no one else does is, here's an example. I'll just give you a little taster of what you can do. So with Relatable, you can build an interactive video. But what happens when a viewer pauses watching because they had to go to a meeting, the phone rang, their baby cried, they had to go to dinner? That happens in life, right? Well, guess what? Our Relatable can re-engage them with a text we prefer text, not email, because people don't read email anymore. That's like a fax. Back to exactly where they paused watching to re-engage, right? You cannot do that with any other product. We have a way to re-engage based on how they answer questions, based on their own. Remember, number 7, you got to be personal and niche oriented. They have to choose their adventure. You have to provide them with content that they want to see based on what they answered, right? So that's really what it means to be relatable. And you can learn how to do this not only within our framework, our community, but using the tool as well.
Absolutely. And everything, the reason I went through on those slides is because Peter was talking about exactly that thing. We can re-engage and bring people back to where they left off. We can help them choose their own adventure. If they answer a particular question in a certain way, you can then offer different content that supports what it is they're saying and what supports what it is they've chosen in that adventure. And this is all in real time. And this is allowing your consumers, your audience, because they may not be customers yet, or your customers, even after the fact, in a product situation. If you have a product and you're giving an unboxing or a use case for them to use your product, they're already a customer. Think about using this kind of tool to be able to keep engaging those customers, to keep them getting deeper and deeper into the use of the thing they just purchased and the potential for other products that support that. This is what it's all about. That's personalized, options. What does it mean to build interactive relationships and community like you're a maestro conducting a symphony? That's being relatable. That's what it means.
One thing, guys, just so you get, so I talked about, we call that time code re-engagement. But the one other thing that Mary and I, we touched on, but I really want you guys to understand the power of this. So I'm just going to use a simple analogy because I'm kind of a simple guy, I think in simple ways. But here's the thing. Let's say you are going through My Interactive, and I'm talking about color theory. Maybe you're a graphic designer or something. And I ask you, okay, a simple single choice question. What's your favorite color? Red, green, blue, or orange? Well, my favorite color is orange. I really like orange, so I would choose orange. Now, if you said orange and you were the viewer, I can send you all kinds of content on the color orange and how orange is beneficial in design, form, fit, and function, all these kinds of things related to the color orange, because you chose that I'm interested in the color orange. That is re-engagement based on personal and relevant and relatable, as the software tool can do that for you. No one else that I know of, and we've looked at a lot of competitors, no one else in the world does time code re-engagement and does also re-engagement to content like Mary mentioned. And that is the interactive video relationships piece, because you are having an ongoing dialogue and relationship, but through video. Mary was brilliant when she first got this tool and was playing around with it. I coined the term interactive video lead magnet. What she was doing was she was asking people, you know how the old lead magnets are, right? They give you the lead magnet, you got to print the PDF out, you write out your answers, you got to scan it, and you got to put it back in. That's like the days of fax. I mean, come on, guys. That's so annoying. So what she did is she said, well, I'm going to create an interactive video. I'm just going to ask these people questions, and they're going to fill it out in Experience while they're in the video. And by the way, when they're all done, she emailed them all their answers. They had all their work done right while they were in Experience. I mean, how cool is that? You can't get that in other software applications.
Yeah. And see, I think, Peter, too, we have to make sure that people understand. Thank you for saying that, because we have to make sure people understand. We're talking about video here. We're not talking about a survey that you want someone to type out, or that they're just looking on the screen that is static and all they're going to do is type their answer. This is a video experience. So you as the business owner, and I would recommend that if you are the business owner or you are the face of your company, you do this. You don't delegate this to someone else, because this is another part of the native digitals. They want to interact with the head honcho. They want to know who you are and what makes you tick. So if you are doing that, be on video, talk your survey instead of sending them some, impersonal text thing that they have to just type out. And they're basically interacting with a text form. No, they want to interact with you. And
Yep.
this is the first step. We know what's coming. Peter and I know what's coming. Peter has shared a lot about what's coming in the future with being able to interact via video beyond just video. But this is the first step. And when you do that, we know that all of the interactions that you can see, facial expressions, tone of voice, all those things are what make us build relationships with you.
That's
And
your
nothing else.
Well, Barry, I'm glad you brought that up. Being the stat guy, so there is a study that was done by HubSpot. Everybody knows who HubSpot is. They're
Yes.
CRM, right? Huge, worth $10 billion, I think, evaluation now. But anyway, HubSpot did a study and found out that in today's world, 70% of people, they don't want to interact with your company or your brand. They want to interact with the head honcho on video. 70%. So that 70%. Why they did that is that builds trust. If you're on there and you are the CEO, you're the business owner, you're the entrepreneur, you're the one that's running head and all the shots. That's why I'm in the interactive videos too, because, you'll see Mary in those too, but you guys want to interact with me. And so I'm going to interact with you on a personal basis through these interactive videos.
Yes. So these are the steps to be relatable. We've gone over them. We just want to make sure that we make them very clear. Again, relatable video 2.0 is what we're talking about.
Yep.
Be interactive, be consistent, build community, people who have a shared vision, a shared purpose. Experiment with what you're doing. We are not experts here. We are experimenting, and we need you to experiment with us. Because if you think this is important, then you need to help us create what it is we're creating for the future. So experiment and think movement. Now, the difference between a community and a movement, as I understand it, a community is a group of people who all have kind of a shared understanding and idea about things. But a movement is a group of people who have a common outcome they're trying to achieve. Yeah. A common goal they are trying to achieve. That is a movement. And it usually is not dictated by the head of the movement. It is dictated by the community. So that's it. When you are relatable, your results, increased conversions. Again, we can give you all kinds of numbers, but 20% is the number that we're
at least 20%.
Yeah.
And the thing is, you'll find it'll be a different number for every business. We can't say, oh, we guarantee 10%, 20%. It's whatever. It's your secret sauce. It's your business. It's your interaction. But you're going to get increased conversions using this process of relatable, using the relatable tool.
Absolutely. This is what we're talking about. Be a student, not an expert. We are not experts. We're experts at different things. We each have pretty much under our belts because of the experience of things in the past. And we can take some of those things in the past and apply them to the future, but letting go of all those analog filters that we've used and embracing this new digital age. That's it. We're asking you to be a student with us in this world. Now, how relatable are you? Do you agree that those 7 truths are undeniable, as undeniable as breathing? Are you part of the native digitals who are winning this clash? Are you going to stop chasing that social Ferrari with us? We're going to post, yes, and have the fishing holes, yes, but we're going to get them into our relatable experiences. And are you growing a movement instead of a tornado of funnels? And will you be relatable with video 2.0? That's what we're asking. How relatable are you? Hopefully, you are very relatable and ready to be there. All right. Let's go through how the tool that we've been talking about, the framework this whole time, and this whole idea of being relatable and building community and movement and interactivity. Now, let's talk about the tool. Peter, what are we talking about with Smart Scripts?
Yeah, it's really a simple like 3 or 4 step process with the relatable. This is why, guys, I always say you can do this on your phone anywhere, anytime, anywhere, and you can build these things. It depends on what you do. You can do evergreens, you can do daily relatables, you can do relatable promotions, whatever you want to do, but you can build them in 30 minutes or less and get them out. So this Smart Script, guys, look, here's the thing. Like I said, being a native digital is not an ageism thing. You can be our age and think like a digital, or just be born in that age of the native digitals. But for a lot of us, including me, it took me a while to get into this whole video thing. I have had a radio show for years and years, but that's his voice. So we thought long and hard about this and said, okay, well, this actually is a good place to use artificial intelligence. So basically, SmartScript, you plug in some different things, put in your topic, you do some drop-down menus, whatever you can think of, SmartScript will create a video script for you with questions included. And by the way, once you get done with that, it will automatically build your interactive and your re-engagement for you. At least you have something to start with. So you don't have to sit there from scratch and, scratch your head going like, well, how do I do this, right? We made it very, very easy with the SmartScript. Now, you can do your own manual script in Relatable. And if you want, like I like to do now, you can just get on and the next thing is going to be a teleprompter. You get on and you just record, talk off the top of your head and ask them a question at the end, kind of like in continual fireside chat. So that's this next step is this record your video. We have a built-in teleprompter. So you can take your script either that was created with AI and by the way, you can edit that script too. It doesn't have to be just what the AI says, because again, if you're finding your secret sauce, you got to put your own secret sauce into that AI script, because that's what makes you and makes you relatable. But when you're all done and everything looks good, you can go, okay, now you can set the font size for us people that maybe can't see as well. And you can set your recording speed. And I play with that all the time. Like sometimes I want to go a little slower because I want to add, pauses and inflections. Sometimes I just make it faster because I just want to read through the script. But the nice thing about it is just like I'm looking at you here on the camera, the way the teleprompter is set, you let it run up so you're not like reading over here or down here. Now, they have AI tools like Descriptor to help fix your eyes and stuff like that. But with ours, you don't need it because you just read right into the teleprompter and it looks great when you're all done. So we'll go to the next step. Then this is really simple. Now, this is something that's another biggie. If you look at a lot of these other video tools that are interactive videos, what they do is, and again, think of yourself as a small business owner or entrepreneur. They will charge, they're on multi-tier and they charge by the number of minutes viewed. Well, to me, that's a little scary because what if one of your videos goes viral and now you get this huge bill at the end of the day for this company? You're going, oh my God. And then if you didn't, you're experimenting and maybe it didn't convert as well as it should. Now you're stuck with a whole huge cost for not a lot of outlay, right? So we rethought that too. We said, you know what, that's kind of dumb. We shouldn't follow that model. So we have one flat rate per month price. We go on video views. So how we do this is you upload your video to YouTube, Vimeo, Wistia, Vidyard, Cloudnerd, doesn't matter. But we recommend YouTube. Why? Because it's free. You can upload it to YouTube and right in the software, you push the button in it. You're recording it the video is stored on your phone camera folder and you just upload it right to YouTube. And then you just go ahead and hit click the share and the copy and you bring it into Relatable. Then you're going to build your interactives. Now, this is the other really cool thing because ours is built on a phone. I always say, and Mary knows this, is all you need is your face, a finger, and your phone. That's it. Because you can come in and you can watch your video and you tap on where you want to add your interactives. And these interactives are questions. They're single choice, multiple choice. They're text-based, date, time. You can add what we call touchables. Touchables are icons, emojis, custom images, which you can build in Canva for free. So if you're doing like a Relatable promotion and you want to have a button that you built in Canva, make it look really nice, you can do that. If you're looking at icons are really super cool, guys. If you're a service business at all, like chiropractor, dentist, doctor, landscaping, plumber, electrician, you can go through a whole Relatable interactive experience, help diagnose their problem. And at the end, you can put, hey, do you want to text me, call me, or set a calendar appointment? And you can do it right inside Relatable. And then the last piece we've talked about before is this re-engage and nurture. And we're going to show you kind of some of the stuff in the demo coming up, which is my favorite part of this whole thing because I love watching the stuff in the demo. It's kind of cool. But the re-engage and nurture is that time code back to exactly where they stopped, or you re-engage them based on how they answered questions, or we even track touchables. So if they're tapping on certain things on the screen, you can re-engage them based on where they tap on the screen and what they did. And by the way, just so you know, we didn't include on here, but you have full on the fly, anytime, anywhere analytics. you could look and see exactly where everybody went through, where they stopped, how many people went through at any given day up to 90 days. You could do A/B split testing in there and pit one reliable against another. So you have everything you need to say, wow, I can see exactly how each of these interactives I'm producing is performing. If you do like daily relatables and say, hey, tell me what you think about that, what I just talked about, you can go through all the answers. And by the way, what is that going to give you? More content for future relatables. I mean, it's all in the relatable tool right there on your phone.
And it's based on that framework. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's get this video here. I'm going to stop sharing real quick because I need to give you a quick little video, and bear with me here as I get further. All right, where did it go? Oh, darn it. It's hidden. Hold on. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. Okay. Just clicking. Hang on.
It's like the Jeopardy.
I know. All right. You see my screen?
Yep, we're good.
All right, let's do this. All right. That is
Awesome.
what we're talking about.
Yeah.
I love that. I can't help but move.
It's always fun to find that. But here's the thing. One thing I do want to make sure that people know about, which is really, really important, is there's another piece in here which I didn't put in the demo with my team, but it's called viral share. and I want to bring this up because this, guys, I'm telling you again, Barry and I are both business people, and I was saying, there has to be a good way. You know how viral videos go viral, right? And they go to social media, and you kind of, it's like they go everywhere, but the problem is they're going everywhere to strangers, right?
Yeah.
So we said there's got to be a better way. So inside Relatable, we have what's called Viral Share, where a viewer can choose the little share button at the top. And you can even say when you're building it, go, hey, if you like this video, please share it with your friends. Well, they can go in there, they can share it on social media, they can post it on social media. But what I like is, and there's ways, there's text, there's WhatsApp, there's email. I like text, and here's why. Because when they tap on that, it goes right into their phone contacts database in their phone. They can choose the people that they want to send it to. And guys, think about this, right? If you have somebody that and they send you a link with a text that they created, say, hey, this is kind of cool, you probably should check this out. Do you think you're going to do it? Yeah, because you know that person, right? Friends trust friends. So you can send these out. And the thing that's so cool is that you can massively build your audience base in your interactives, and you pay exactly this, $0, because it's phone to phone. It doesn't cost you anything. There's no cost per lead like on ads or cost per click. It is free. Again, we all like free, right? Free hosting on YouTube, free viral sharing. That's all built into the Relatable platform.
Yes. Yes, these are the benefits of it. And I got to tell you, again, because I've been with Peter for several years, I'm usually on the bleeding edge of these tools, and I'm using them as kind of a beta tester before they're completely ready. And I get to play, I get to break, I get to do all kinds of fun stuff. Well, I get on with Peter and Rion, and I'm like, hey, why is this working? Right. So, but that's not the case now. Now it is ready and rocking. And, that first mover status, I was able to build a Relatable because I was a co-author in a book with Mark Schaefer and his community, the first community actually produced book. And I was able to interview each of the authors and create a relatable experience for anyone who wants to go through this book and understand where it came from, the hearts of the authors in this book. And that first mover status, that gave me a particular status with this group of people to be able to allow potential readers to get to know each of the authors. There's nothing that compares to going what I call beneath the ink, behind the scenes, to allow people to really get to know. That's being relatable. That's building relationships. That's not just trying to get someone in a funnel to make money or sell books. Yeah. Very important. All right. This is what we offer you. This is our Relatable offer. We have a 7-day free trial. And if you can do this, which I know you can, with the smart scripts and AI, building it with you and for you, and getting your interactives up and running within 30 minutes or less, you definitely get 7 days worth of testing before you actually commit. Build and share what you want. It's what you want. It's for your business. And please use your secret sauce. Please don't just follow a framework that somebody has told you need to use to grow your business. Be you. And then hang out and experiment with us. That's what we're asking. All for $97 a month for the first 50 subscribers.
And, one thing I'll add, and, we are going to raise the price on this. I think that's a really fair deal because, guys, if you think, and again, you can go, you should go up to the fishing holes, like I say, and get your audience, bring them into your environment here. But between the interactivity and the viral show we talked about, you can massively build that audience and then convert them and nurture them into customers. And then through the entire customer journey, nurture them into raving fans. But, one of the things, just so you know, too, when you come in, because we'll know kind of what kind of business you are, we have use cases for coaches, course creators, influencers, product creators, book authors, like what Mary was talking about, influencers, realtors. There's service-based businesses. There's all kinds of ones where you could just say, okay, I'm just going to try that to generate leads with this thing. They've got it in there. I'm just going to go do that. You can build one of those things in, like we said, in less than 30 minutes and have it up and running. And then go send it out on social channels, send it out to your list, whatever you want to do with it. It's up to you, right? This is how you get access to, this is the landing page. You'll get access to this is berelatable.app. It's just that simple. You can go in there. Again, you're signing up for a 7-day free trial. Yes, we do collect your credit card. If you want to cancel before that time, you can. But I find that highly unlikely because, guys, if you're going to use it and you're really, here's the thing. If you're like me and Mary and you're looking at out there and you're struggling because you're getting low conversions on your email marketing, you're having people unsubscribe, you're doing like what Mary says, where you're stuck in the hamster wheel, you're having a whole bunch of people canceling on you, you're constantly in the social hamster wheel, you're building your audience, but then you send them to email and you're getting low responses in email, that 0.3% like that guy was bragging about. All of these different things, or you're sick and tired of the algorithm controlling and filtering who sees your content, right? I mean, it's time to like go, okay, if you're like us and going, there has to be a better way. What else is possible? This is what else is possible. This is find your secret sauce, use our relatable framework. You're going to be with berelatable.app. When you are subscribing to our product, you're part of the Heretics 2.0 community. You're part of all of the stuff that we're doing. You're going to be in Substack. You're going to be part of our use cases and things like that. So there's no way for you to lose, because what Mary and I wanted was, I wanted to make sure that when you came in, you had 7 days. If you can build one of these things in 30 minutes or less, you probably could build 5 or 6 and get them out there. And within 7 days, see what happens, right? You really have nothing to lose by giving it a try.
No. And let me tell you basically what I know. This is all new. I know this is something that is like, what? Okay, wait a minute. Video, what? How does it? And we showed you a demo, but let me tell you really just bottom line what's going to happen. If you go to berelatable.app, you sign up for an account, you have this step-by-step guide available to you. But here's what you do. You record a video. You can use the software to record your video on your phone, please. On your phone is the best way to do it. So you record your video on your phone. What I do is I live near the coast. I go to the beach and I record a video about whatever thoughts I'm thinking and whatever I'm trying to help people understand or understand from people. So I'll record my video. I upload it to YouTube and I make it unlisted, right? Yep. Nobody else can see it. Unlisted on YouTube, free. I take the URL from that unlisted video. I put it into Relatable. I ask one question. What do you think? Share with me what you think. And I say, okay, do you think this is BS? Do you think this is, oh my gosh, I'm mind blown? Do you think something in the middle? Or tell me, and I can have a text block where they can actually tell me. Now, I put that in, I publish it. I'm done in, again, definitely less than 30 minutes if I'm doing a 1-minute video. And I put it up there and it's raw, because here's another thing. Even if I flub up, I keep the video, I keep the recorder going, because I can, in Relatable, skip to the best part and start there. I don't have to get an editor. I don't have to go put it into Final Cut Pro and figure out where to cut it. None of that. All real.
Yeah.
Then once I publish that and I put in some interactives or some re-engagement if I want, even if I don't want, I just publish that. I have a link that's unique to me and unique to that Relatable. I put it out on Facebook and say, guys, please, I want to know what you think about this. Now I take that link and I put it on Facebook. I get a free preview on Facebook of what that video looks like, because it's a video. And then people click that link and go watch my 1 minute of video, which most people, I put it in a reel. I put it wherever, that link. And then I get people to interact with that video and answer that question for me. That's what we're talking about. That's being relatable in a step-by-step 30-second explanation. If you feel that that will benefit your business and the people you serve, please, berelatable.app. Just prove me right, because I know it will. Any last thoughts, Peter?
Yeah, my last thought is, guys, here's the thing for all you guys that have either watching this, as a recording or watching it live, is, because I've done all this other stuff too. I've done funnels, I've done email marketing, I've done these different things for my business. And it just, I don't know. at some point, it just made me feel icky. And I was like, maybe that's what Mary calls slick aware. I was just like, this is just, and people would be like, stop texting me, stop emailing me, and they get pissed off. And I go, well, and I shrug it off and go, oh, they're just having a bad day. They're just being mean. But it was like, you know what? And it started dawning on me. It's like, no, that's not the case. We are intruding on people's lives. And then we're forcing stuff down there. We're force feeding them stuff. And yes, okay, they can opt out and they can put stop on text. But I mean, at the end of the day, if you're like us, where it's like, somewhere deep down inside, you feel kind of icky about it. There's a better way. There's a different way. And that's what this relatable, it will really help you feel better, because like Mary said, I'm right now, again, this is all we're eating our own dog food, as I always say in my company. So I'm starting to do daily relatables. You're going to start seeing them more and more, but it's like, I always, with OpenList, we have that out there. And, one of the things I really wanted to do is I wanted to create something where you could have like a fireside chat with your customers. Like, hey, I'm thinking about this today, or I'm having this challenge. Do you guys have that same challenge? That's being authentic and being real. That's being relatable, right? And that's what led us to this. Was I wanted a way, like Mary said, just put out daily relatables, ask people what they think. And remember, with the analytics, you can actually see what they're saying, and you're going, you know what? There's a common thread here. Maybe I need to talk about that in my next daily relatable, because a lot of people are responding that way, right? So instead of like doing the stranger marketing where it's like, arm's length, you really don't know their you say, well, I know their pain points. Well, okay, do you really? I mean, if you don't get feedback, how do you know? I mean, you can certainly go call all the people, but that's kind of time consuming too. So if you want, again, you might be a small business and maybe you have 100 customers or maybe 50. That's okay. Start there. We're starting at the beginning with relatable, but there are some of you guys that are going to see this at some point in time in the future. You're going to see Mary and I, and you probably have 10,000 customers, 150,000 customers. If you're an influencer, you may have a few million. And wouldn't it be nice, instead of having all those people up on Instagram or TikTok, have them in your own environment where you can interact with them and they can interact with you, and you can have these daily relatables, and you can have the relatable promotions, and you can have your evergreen relatables that run for interaction to really help understand, get in the heads of your customers, right? So both what they want and what they don't want.
Yeah.
And that's what this tool is all about.
Yes. BeRelatable.app. I hope you join us there. Thank you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for attending our live discussion. And we hope to get your feedback. All right. See you later, Peter.